The Division beta is very soon upon us, coming on the 28th for Xbox and on the 29th for PC and PS4, staying until the 31st. Before hopping into it, you might want to know how some stuff actually works. So today we're going to be going over some of the core components of The Division and maybe talk about what you can expect with the beta. Before we continue, I'd like to thank RX Gaming for allowing me to use the clips that you will be watching. He's been doing some great stuff with The Division. Definitely check him out. His info is in the description. If you're familiar with Destiny, like I know most of my audience is, then a good chunk of The Division will feel somewhat familiar. However, unlike Destiny, The Division is an RPG first, while Destiny is a shooter first. So you can expect much more of a heavier RPG-like experience with The Division. You can play the game by yourself or with friends, but the world is one interconnected world. There is no mode selection when you turn the game on. Pretty safe to say that The Division is an always online experience. When you first start the game, you'll be given a couple of missions to complete before you head to the base of operations. Your base of operations is independent to you when you walk in. You'll have your own instance of the base. In this base will be various things, like vendors for weapons, gear, and mods, your stash, aka your bank or your vault, crafting, yes, the game has crafting but no trading, side missions, a couple of other things, and the three wings, medical, tech, and security. To first open up these wings, you'll need to complete a specific mission. Each wing has 10 upgrades to unlock. These upgrades give you various bonuses, perks, and skills as you unlock them. You unlock the upgrades of each wing by doing missions or otherwise spending upgrade points, in which those upgrade points come from various missions in the game related to the wing that you're trying to upgrade. So if you want to upgrade the medical wing, you go do medical missions, tech for tech, you get it. I believe the first upgrade that you get is chosen for you, but after that you'll be able to get whatever you want. In the beta, I can't picture us unlocking too many of these nodes. Otherwise, in the base of operations, there are vendors to buy guns, armor, and mods from. You have the bounty board, aka a lady near the medical wing who will give you side missions, and we have crafting. I can't imagine crafting getting too in-depth in the beta, but here's a quick overview. You craft guns with weapon parts, you craft armor with fabric, and you craft mods with tools. This is just low-level crafting. I imagine as we reach the endgame that crafting will require more and or rarer resources, we just don't know to what capacity yet. You'll get blueprints to weapons out in the wild. As you progress, you can convert low-level materials into higher-level materials, but of course you won't get as many in return. Take 5 common parts, turns it into 1 uncommon part. Take 5 uncommon, turns it into 1 rare part, etc. Like I said though, can't imagine we'll be messing with this too much in the beta. Let's move on to combat. The Division is an RPG with a coat of third-person cover-based shooter paint on it. This means that things are going to take a good amount of shots to die, yes, even to the head, despite the setting of modern-day New York City. This is different from most modern shooters because it doesn't take 5 shots to the head to kill someone in a modern shooter. However, this is an RPG, so you can and should expect slightly longer time to kill times on regular enemies. It is a more strategic kind of game, not necessarily a run and gun, mow everyone down in 2 seconds kind of game. You'll definitely want to utilize cover as much as you can because enemies can chop you down rather quickly if you're not careful. Only the bottom 33% of your health will regenerate. Otherwise, you need to use a med pack to stay alive, and from what I remember, you don't get too many of them, only about 3, which makes any sort of ability-based healing really good, at least at first glance it does. You get 2 main weapons and a pistol for your character. Most of the time this will be some sort of automatic weapon in one slot and a sniper or shotgun in another slot. The controls will feel familiar to most other shooters, there's nothing drastically different. Something that may take a little getting used to is the cover mechanic, especially if you've never played a cover-based shooter. You're not going to want to stand out in the open too often, you're going to want to be behind some sort of cover most of the time. By cover, I mean using the game's cover system, not just crouching behind something. Moving from cover to cover is pretty easy, just aim where you want to go, and if the game says that it's cover, just hold A or X and your character will run to that new cover. Your skills are on the bumpers, or the ones, and you can assign them how you like, I believe. You get 2 skills and 1 signature skill. Destiny players might know this as a super. Your skills can also have modifications on them to do different things, and you'll unlock more as you level and upgrade your base of operations. Grenades and medkits are on the D-pad, left and right respectively. There are skills like Pulse, which allow you to see enemies within a certain radius. Then you have certain healing abilities like the Support Station, which heals targets in a certain area. You can then modify those skills to do bonus abilities too. For example, Pulse, when upgraded, allows you to deal bonus damage to those tracked by the Pulse. We'll learn a little bit more about skills when the beta actually comes out. Talents are passive abilities that trigger whenever you're in the right conditions for them to trigger. For example, reviving a teammate gives 50% damage reduction for a short time, using a medkit heals people in a radius around you as well, etc. You can have 4 talents equipped at a time. Then you have perks, which are just flat bonuses. For example, carry an extra medkit, and there are many perks. However, you do not need to pick and choose perks, you will just gradually unlock all of them. The best part about skills and perks and talents is that there is no cost to change them. You can change them whenever you want, no charge, no penalties, and you can even do it in combat, although I really don't recommend that. Enemies can come in a couple of different forms. You have your standard bad guys who have no armor, you have your armored bad guys who do have armor signified by the white health bars above their regular health bar, and then you have named enemies which are essentially boss-like characters. The named guys have a lot more health, probably because, well, they're a boss-like character, most likely at the end of a mission. So a good chunk of the game is PvE based, playing by yourself or playing with friends and doing missions. But then we also have the Dark Zone, which is an area that you can and will find other players outside of your party in. In the Dark Zone are various enemies, regular enemies, armored, named, etc., who can drop loot. The Dark Zone is where you will find some of the best items in the game. However, you'll find other players as well. In the Dark Zone, all loot is contaminated and must be extracted via helicopter from an extraction zone. In order to get your loot out, you need to go to an extraction zone, call in a chopper, wait for the chopper to arrive, plant your loot on the chopper, then wait for the chopper to leave. Sounds simple in theory until you realize that other players can go rogue on you. When you enter the Dark Zone, all other players are neutral. If you are killed by another player or someone in your group is killed by another player, then that player will be marked as rogue. Or if you kill someone, you will be marked as rogue. Dying as a rogue gives a penalty and killing a rogue gives a reward, but killing as a rogue also brings benefits. Loot can be stolen from bodies in the Dark Zone, so if you find something, chances are you really don't want to lose it, so try not to die. If you are a rogue, you will be marked, and people in the area within a certain radius will know where you are and will probably want to hunt you down. The more people you kill as a rogue, the higher your rogue rank goes. If you reach rank 5 rogue, you'll start a manhunt where you need to survive for 5 minutes. If you survive those 5 minutes, you'll get some cash, but if you die, you'll lose a good chunk of money, some other items like Dark Zone keys, and a lot of Dark Zone experience. The Dark Zone vendor sells some really good stuff, but requires a certain rank depending on the item that you want to buy. So keeping that Dark Zone experience and level high means you'll be able to buy cooler stuff. Dark Zone keys are used for various loot caches in the Dark Zone. Keep in mind that you never have to go rogue in the Dark Zone. If you just want to look for AI enemies or just want to help other people out, you can certainly do that. Just keep in mind that people can go rogue on you at any time, so be careful. That about wraps up my Division beta preparation video. Once again, very big thanks to RX Gaming for providing the footage in this video. You can find him in the description. I'm very much looking forward to at least attempting to make content for the Division. We'll see what kind of legs this game has both on YouTube and in terms of actually playing it. I may have more on the Division in between the beta and the release of the game. We just need to see what the beta has in store for us. Thank you all very much for watching, and I'll see you next time.